Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. Having my morning cup of coffee here, my coffee with Gino cup, my Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. It's coffee, cream, and sugar, powder form. You can get this for like 7 pesos each. 10 at the sari-sari store. A little bit more expensive at the sari-sari store. But me, I can get like 10 packets of these for 70 pesos. About $1.50 for 10 cups of coffee. Good morning, Charlie. Good morning. My good friend in Boston, Just getting my day started here. I'm up doing the live stream early this morning. I kind of like, this is kind of like my normal routine. Last night, I was actually watching the live stream of Ray in the Philippines. I was around 7:30 when I was already, falling asleep. I was watching his live stream. So I said, hey, good night, guys. Mom Janet was there. And Ray, a few of the other regulars on our live stream. So I was like, man, I'm going to bed, man. So usually I'm in bed by 8 p.m. That's kind of like my bedtime. That's why I usually get up like at 4:30. That's 4:30, 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock at the latest is the time the time I wake up. Jasper. Lily Billy. All right, Lily Billy. All right. I always start the live stream with the weather report. The weather report here in the Philippines. My friend Vegas Will in Las Vegas. He always he calls me Mr. Weatherman. So I don't want to disappoint him. I don't want to disappoint him with the weather. Right now, there's looks like a tropical cyclone outside the PAR, PAR, the Philippine Area of Responsibility, as of 3 a.m. this morning. This will be tropical depression. If it enters the Philippine Area of Responsibility, the PAR, this will be called Tropical Depression Jacinto, Jacinto. Right now, it's not yet in the Philippine Area of Responsibility, so it's not yet considered the 10th typhoon of the year. If it enters the PAR, it will be number 10 typhoon this year. We usually get about 18 to 20 for the entire year. So we're past the halfway point, but sometimes we'll get 2 or 3 typhoons in a single month. Usually it's October seems to be the month that gets like 2 or 3. Last year we had about 2 or 3 typhoons in October. It's currently 650 kilometers west of Iba, Zambales. Zambales is in the Luzon area of the Philippines. Philippines is divided into 3 sections. Luzon on top, Visayas Islands in the middle, and then Mindanao. So right now, the Ilocos region, Central Luzon, they're going to experience scattered rains and thunderstorms. Visayas here in our area, we're in Western Visayas here in Numancia, Aklan. We're still going to be affected by the habagat. Habagat will last probably till end of October. Monsoon, same thing. Southwest monsoon for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. The habagat monsoon rain. Do you need anything, Leanna? Leanna's awake early today because she wanted to get up early today. That's her dress right there. She has activity in school. It's called the Buwan ng Wika, the month of language. They have like events in her school. So today she gets to dress, and I think she has a dance too or something like that. Uh, do you have a dance today, Leanna?
No.
No, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, what's today? Just you just gotta dress up. That's all.
Yeah, and parade, I think.
Parade. All right. Yeah. Leanna says she has a parade. So that's why she's got that dress right there. Mom already ironed her Filipiniana. That's called the Filipiniana dress. Traditional Filipina dress. Filipino dress. Oh, sorry to hear that. Monday morning, I was attacked at the bus stop. Sorry to hear that, Ben. Where are you from, Ben? I don't know where you were attacked at the bus stop. Fresh aloha, fresh aloha. Good morning, brother. All right, brother, my Hawaiian brother. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Wow, man, you're like a world traveler there. Fresh aloha. Then off to Miami, Florida on Tuesday. I travel for work. Okay, understand. Hopefully, I will be in the Philippines by Christmas time. Aloha, aloha, aloha. Thank you for joining the live stream. Fresh aloha. I never, when I was in the military, I was United States Air Force for 20 years. I did go, we have this thing in the military. It was called temporary duty. And I would get assigned to different places in the United States, sometimes overseas for usually like weeks. The longest I think I spent TDY, temporary duty, maybe a couple of months. But so I did get to travel some. I travel all over the U.S. and when I was stationed overseas. So I know the feeling. I know the feeling of living in a suitcase. That's tough. It's tough sometimes living off a suitcase. Yes, it's a beautiful dress. It's a beautiful dress. Leanna's gonna be wearing the Filipiniana. It's called Filipiniana dress. Dazzle and her, they actually bought it at the mall. How much was your dress, Leanna? Like
500.
500. 500. Let me show you. Let me show you the dress. Really nice. Right there is Liana's dress for today. It's called the Filipiniana. It's got like a sash here. 500 pesos. $9 for the dress. $500 for the dress, $9. Not bad at all for a lovely dress, I'm sure Leanna's gonna look nice. I'll take pictures of her before I take her to school today. Here in the Philippines, the public schools, even private schools, they have a lot of activities like that, like Buwan ng Wika, the month of language. They got the month where they celebrate the national hero Jose Rizal. They have intramurals. They just have a lot of activities with their school. And Leanna, she's the class president. So she stays busy because being the class president, there's added responsibilities and duties. I love traveling. It could be such a stress sometimes, though. Yeah, I know. Like I could imagine, Charlie, like the airport sometimes, the delays at the airports, those kind of things. That's what. Yeah, me, I don't like traveling anymore. Actually, it's been a while. When was the last? I can't even remember the last time Dazzle and I flew. It's just I don't enjoy it now. Even here in the Philippines, unfortunately, when you travel like domestic here, a lot of delays, because of rain, because typhoons, cancellations. I just don't have the patience anymore for traveling. I've done enough traveling in my day, so for me, I'd rather drive if I could. That's why we like taking our car on the ferry and traveling, island hopping, using our car and a ferry. I'd rather drive than like that fly in an airplane. It make good memory, but can also be nerve-wracking. Yes, right, Charlie? Because the delays, the delays, and here in the Philippines, unfortunately, a lot of the airports, like domestic airports, even Manila, Manila's a big international airport, but the domestic side, uh, they're tight. They're not roomy. A lot of times, if there's a delay, the whole waiting area gets packed. It's congestion, and I try to avoid crowds as it is because my immune system is compromised now. So not fun for me anymore. That's why I rather drive. I prefer driving now. I don't mind if I have to be on a boat with our car, a long ferry ride. We took a long ferry ride from Caticlan to Batangas once, 12 hours on the ferry. I don't even mind that because on the ferry, you park your car, they strap your car, you can walk around. We even have a room. We had our own room, own bathroom on the ferry to go ferry is the one we took. They had a dining facility. It was we had free breakfast, and on the top deck, open air on the top deck. They had like a cafe. You can drink coffee in the morning, and then at nighttime they even have a live band. So to me it was fun. It was fun. I'd rather do that. I'd rather do the ferries instead of the airplanes now. Oh, Ria, my good friend in Tennessee. My good friend in Tennessee. Hi, Gino and Leanna. How's the Kumon? The Kumon is going great. Leanna just came yesterday. No, we go like Tuesdays and Thursdays. So on Tuesday, she does work at the center in Calibo. It takes about an hour and a half, math and then reading. And then they gave her homework. And then the homework she has to complete before Thursday. So Thursday, yesterday, she turns in the homework. They check it. They go over the homework with her. And she spent another hour and a half on activity inside the center. And then after we were done yesterday at Thursday, she got more homework. So that's kind of like the routine now. Twice a week, she gets homework, and then she gets schoolwork at Kumon. So the next, so she'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to complete the homework that she got to turn in on Tuesday. So far, so good. Leanna likes it. I know it's gonna help her because I'm looking through the workbooks that she's doing. I know it's gonna help her with both math and reading. Going to the public school, Numancia Integrated School, it's a good school, but I've always said the public school here in Aklan province anyway, to me, just my opinion, lacks as far as like education. So what I've done in the past 2 years with Leanna, I supplement with her education. I go through her books with her homework, and then we come up with additional work at home. But I needed help because she's in high school now. Her math is gonna get more advanced, and the reading. I think reading can't hurt. It's like me growing up. I always loved to read, so to me, it can't hurt her that she's reading more and doing more math. It can only help her. It can only help her, and it's not expensive. It's 4,300 pesos a month. All the sessions and everything, homework, all the checking. So about $75 a month. I think it's well worth the money. Well worth the money. Leanna is getting taller. Yes, Leanna is getting taller. I would estimate Leanna to be probably like 5'3" now. 5'3", maybe even 5'4". She is getting taller. Good morning, Kuya. Good. Liam in Asia. All right, Liam in Asia. Hey, James and Karen's adventure. Hey, man, I decided to do the live stream early because Leanna had to get up early. Mom is actually making Leanna's lunch. I think you can hear it frying. What's
Potato de.
Tocino. Diana requested tocino. I don't know if you've had tocino, James, but it's pork, tender pork, and it's marinated, and it's fried. It kind of goes combination with like the tocino or tapa, and then rice and egg. Like it's called tosilog. Tosilog. Uh, if you haven't tried it. But I'm glad you guys are back, James. What an adventure yesterday on the boat, man. I watched it for hours, man. I had it on the TV here. I was coming in and out. I would like watch it. It was just awesome, man. I'm happy for you, my brother. I'm so happy for you, James, because that is a win, man. You know, James and Karen Adventures. They have a YouTube channel. James is just an adventurer. And one of the things he's been working on for some time now is the mobile Starlink, the Starlink Mini, and I've even like when we went to the river Malapat, we were trying to make it work, but it had issues with like the battery connection and I think the cable. But now, you know, James got it down. You know, it's like imagine that for hours he was out in the middle of the ocean and he had internet connection using Starlink. Thousands of views on the live stream. It was awesome. And then people on the boat even, they were like surprised, you know, this is like a bangka. This is not like to go ferry. This is not like fast craft. This is a bangka, a wooden bangka with like a bamboo sides, you know, out in the middle of the ocean, and they got internet. That is just awesome. I just thought that was just so awesome. That was so cool, man. Even the people, passengers, even the crew members of the boat, they had internet on their phone. They're like calling their, you know, their friends, family. They're like so excited. They're like in the middle of the ocean, and you got internet. That was just so cool, James. All right. Charlie, I couldn't agree more, Gino. I don't like flying. I don't know why, but I love road trips. I love being with friends and family on a road trip. It feels so old. It is, man. For me, that's like Dazzle and I, we've gone many road trips. One was our 30-day road trip in Luzon. We just traveled Luzon, Charlie. It was like, we didn't even have a plan. When we landed in Batangas, we just stopped wherever. We didn't even make reservations at any hotels or Airbnb. We just drove and we would stop at everything. Roadside stands, we would see like roadside stands. We would see restaurants along the road. We would eat. And then we went to like, we stayed in Angela City. We stayed in Tarlac, Pangasinan. Then we went to Baguio City. We went to Vegan. Vegan is like the old, this Vegan is one of the cities here. Vegan, it's like, it's amazing because it throws you back in time. You know, it's like a cobblestone road, horse carriage. You know, Dazzle and I rode on a horse carriage. The buildings are all like Spanish era, you know, like 1918 or 1900 at least. You know, it's just like Vegan was awesome. Then we went all the way north in Pagudpod. Pagudpod is like the northern tip almost of Luzon. Nice beaches. They have a place there. Pagudpod is, they describe it as the Boracay of the north. So we got that. We got to see the windmills, the wind turbine things. Bangud, I think Bangud in Ilocos. It was just an amazing trip. And I just enjoyed it because like, I don't get to drive. We have a little car. It's a Toyota Wigo. Great gas mileage. It's a 3-cylinder car, but I don't get to drive it as much here in the province. You know, it's like our car, we bought it in 2018. Imagine 2018, 7 years, and we have 38,000 kilometers on it. That's about 25,000 miles on a 7-year car. You know, I was telling Dazzle when I lived in the U.S., 20,000 miles. I put that in on my car like in a year, right? Because, I would take trips from California to Florida, or California to Texas and back, I would just drive, I just miss that. I miss that driving. That's why I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that road trip in Luzon. And then we had a road trip in Bacolod, in Negros Island. We took our car to Bacolod City and then drove it from Bacolod City all the way to Dumaguete, Dawin area, Bacong. And then on the way back, we even climbed Mount Canlaon, the volcano. I went to the top of the volcano in our car, man. I miss those. I miss those. I don't get to do those adventures as much anymore. That's why I'm kind of living through James now, James and Karen's adventure, because he gets to do the stuff that I used to do, and I just I'm living through him now. That's why I enjoy watching his videos. It's like. I know how it feels, I know what James feels like when he's on his adventures on his motorbike, when he's an adventure on a boat. I remember that feeling, because it's just a feeling of freedom. It's like you're just happy because you're seeing new things. I can't do that anymore. I'm still recovering from my treatment, so my immune system is not as strong. I don't have the endurance anymore. That's why I have to take it easy. But I'm living through James now. It's like I can't wait for James and Karen's next adventure. I just love I love their channel. Yeah, but the road trips are so memorable, and I'm glad when we did our road trips, we were already doing YouTube, because before that, I think that's the whole reason why we started YouTube. Before that, we were doing trips. Dazzle and I went to Singapore. Dazzle and I went to Cebu, Bohol. I wasn't doing YouTube yet. We weren't doing YouTube, and that's what we decided to do YouTube, because we would have a recording of like our adventures, like the things that we did. And I'm glad we did, because that road trip in Luzon, I filmed that Baguio Vegan, Pagudpod, our trip to Dumaguete. So now we're filming everything that we do, So I'm glad, and we got pictures, So it's nice, like we can watch the video anytime. And I remember when we went to Bohol, when we saw the tarsiers, the little tarsiers. All right. I don't understand that, Michael. I don't know the language. I don't want to read it because I don't want to. I don't want to like offend anybody. I'm careful with that stuff, Michael. I'm Tagalog. I can speak Tagalog, but I don't know this language. I don't know this dialect. Sorry if you wanted me to read that, Michael, but I have to be careful of what I read. I don't want to offend anybody. Good morning, Gino. Greetings from Germany. All right, Marcus. I got you. I know I got you on WhatsApp or Messenger, Marcus. But thank you for joining the live stream, Marcus. Thank you, Gino. The boat crew loved it. Oh, I know, right? I know, James. I know they love. I mean, I bet you they couldn't believe it. I know you mentioned it on the live stream that they're like, oh, what is this thing? Like they don't know what that little your Starlink Mini. They're like probably like so amazed that that little thing, the little mobile Starlink can get them internet out in the middle of the ocean. To me that is just so cool, brother. Just so cool. The captain was, I know, I would be too if I was the captain. I was like on the boat, they couldn't believe it. Probably when they're calling their friends, they're going like, where are you? I'm like, oh, I'm in the boat. What? You're in the boat? Where do you connect? How, are you using Smart or Globe? They can go out there with that, man. I'm here on the road. Okay, drive safely, Peanut Butter Travels. Drive safely. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted, man. You can just like listen, but concentrate on the driving. I love this. I love this. All right. I love flying, but I feel like I'm missing so much. I rather ride the more. Right? To me, James, that's how I felt. Even it's like the flying part I don't enjoy as much anymore. And Dazzle doesn't like to fly at all, James. So it's like that's one That's why we started the ferry. You started going to ferry because she was afraid of flying. And for me, I just don't enjoy, like, especially here in the Philippines, when you fly, they have a tendency of delays, and the airports aren't comfortable to wait on, because they got those metal chairs, the same metal chairs that I see at hospitals here, I see at the airport here. They're like horrible chairs. No cushion, metal, some of them rusted even, and you can't even like lay on them because they're so hard, hard on your back. That's why I don't really enjoy flying. If I can avoid flying, I'd avoid. I'd rather drive. It's like next trip, the Dazzle and I, next year we're planning a trip again to Negros Island, maybe visit Roy and Rhea. We'll bring our car, it's like I'll do that. Same thing that you did at Dumangas to Breadco in Bacolod. We've done that with our little Wigo. So I don't mind that. I don't mind. It's a short trip even with our car. I think it was a slower boat. I remember it took like 4 hours on the ferry from Iloilo to Bacolod. But I don't mind that. We even sat in the car. It's like on the way back, I remember on the way there, Dazzle and I got split up. Dazzle had to take another boat. Weird thing. But on the way back, we rode together. And on the way back, we actually, for the most part, we just sat in the car because we had gotten Jollibee, we'd gotten food, and we were like snacking, Good morning, TextPad. Good morning, TextPad. My good friend from Galveston County in Texas. I'm wearing my Panay Posse shirt. My Panay Posse shirt, the back of it. I don't know if you guys can see, it's got Panay Posse. They're gonna start coming in. The Panay Posse is gonna start coming in. I already have a reservation for Edgar. Edgar's gonna be, I guess, the first. I'll have Edgar's shirt ready, his Panay Posse shirt. He's gonna be here next month. Next month already. He have reserved a place at La Casa Española Apartel in Calibo. So he decided, at first he was thinking maybe Boracay, he was thinking Boracay, but I told him for easier transition here in Aklan province, since I'm here, I can help him out, it's like guide him through the process. He can always just stay in Calibo maybe 1 or 2 months, and if he decides he doesn't like it, then he can try Boracay, or he can go to Rojas City, he can go to Iloilo City, it's like no pressure. It's just like for ease of transition, for a soft landing. I think Edgar decided to like come here to Calibo. That way we're here, we can kind of help him. I'll guide him through the process. All right. I think I'm at the bottom of the comments here. Good. I did come up with a topic. I always try to do a topic because if there's no questions on the live stream, I can talk about. And this one, I started thinking about this yesterday. I did the live stream early. I did the early live stream again yesterday. I actually got cut off. It's like our internet, something happened, it got cut off, but no big deal. A question was posed to me, and it just made me think because the question was regarding like age gap relationship. But to me, this is, my response has always been with age gap relationships. It's like, just do what makes you happy, It shouldn't matter if the age gap, if it's a 10-year age gap, 20-year age gap, 30-year age gap. It doesn't matter. To me, do what makes you happy. And that's the topic today that I came up with. I have a little notes here on my other phone. Just live your best life. A lot of us, most of the people that contact me, most of the people that are coming here to the Philippines, this is kind of like the fourth quarter of our life. I'm 59 years old. So I figure, the average male life expectancy is about mid-70s. So I'm thinking I'm at the fourth quarter of my life. And most of the guys that contact me that want my assistance in helping them transition here in the Philippines, most of them are like my age, 59, 60, and older. It's like, so this is kind of like what's considered like our golden years. These are the years that most of us has pension already. Most are Social Security age, receiving Social Security age, and that's what I'm seeing. It's like they're just moving here to the Philippines because their Social Security is just not enough in the U.S. Prices has increased in the U.S. and keep increasing. So for a lot of people, when they reach Social Security is the retirement like money that Americans get when they get to a certain age. Like for me, my Social Security, the earliest withdrawal, the earliest benefit I can get is when I turn 62. At 62, I'm gonna get a good amount of money. So to me, I want that. It's like I'm not gonna. I can wait till 67. Full retirement age is what they call. You get a bigger amount. At 62, you're losing about 30%. If I wait till 67, if I get at 62, I'll lose about 30%. But I'm taking it at 62 because for me, I just want to start enjoying it, enjoying the money. I've worked all my life for it, and we all are different. We all are different. It's like I'm not saying get it at 62 or get it at 67. We all are different, but for me, it's something that I can use the money, build more for Dazzle. Something more for Dazzle. Build like a house at the land that we bought in Katiklan, things like that. It's like. Age gap, oh, right there. Ria, my good friend in Tennessee. Age gap doesn't matter. I'm 12 years older than my husband. His love, respect, and maturity is what matters. We've been together for 21 years by God's grace. Congratulations, Ria, and your husband. It's like that's what I say. Like Dazzle and I'm 29 years older than Dazzle. Our relationship, we've had a great relationship the whole time. And in April, we'll be celebrating our 10th wedding anniversary. So she's 30, I'm 59, but it's never been an issue with us. And to me, it's like, why should be, if other people frown about it and here in the Philippines, like I said before they don't really care over here in the Philippines. It's more like the expats or the ones that are coming from the United States or the critics, the critics that are the keyboard warriors in the US that bash that don't, it's like, oh, that's gross, that's disgusting, they'll say stuff like that. It never bothered me. It's like, for me, I've always lived my life. It's like I'm not affected by what other people say. I moved here when I was 45. It's like my family, my friends in the U.S. thought I was crazy when I moved here to the Philippines because I was making good money in the U.S. I was living the American dream. But for me, I just wanted something else. It's like the life in the U.S. I'm thankful for my life in the U.S. I'm thankful for my pension now, my military pension. But the life I had there, just me, I'm not saying it's the same for everybody. My life in the US wasn't fulfilling. It's like I had more money. I was making good money at the St. Mary's Hospital. I had my pension, but it was just not fulfilling. It's like when I lived in the US, the biggest difference that I see now of my life is I was materialistic when I was living in the US. I was the typical American. I bought things that I wanted. It's like if I wanted if I had two bicycles, road bicycles, expensive bicycles, I get two, and a mountain bike, and electronics, all the gears, all the toys, all the video games, I would get them. It's because I thought that's the way we're, being raised in the United States. That was like you buy what you want. It's like, but totally changed my view on life when I moved here. I knew I had to budget. I had to live frugal when I got here. That's why I changed my life, and I'm a lot happier now with less. I don't buy. Like people always tell me, "Hey, Gino, why don't you get a drone? Why don't you get a new iPhone? To record. All this gear." I don't because I'm frugal now. It's like I've just learned. It's not because I can afford it. I know I can afford like gadgets. I know I can afford a nicer bicycle, nicer motorbike. I could afford it now, but I just learned it's not that important for me anymore. It's like the material things is not become more minimalist. It's like uh, less for me is actually more. Less stress for me, less everything. It's like that's why I prefer having less now. And that was I was going to talk about live your best life. For me, I just am myself. Like that, like what I always tell people: just do you, be yourself. Don't try to like impress other people. Don't keep up with the Joneses. That kind of thing. The people that will like me because how I am. Not because I'm acting a certain way and they'll like me. Those relationships those won't last anyway. The relationships that will last are like genuine relationships. The ones that are you're authentic, you're the real you. It's like you can act silly, you can act however you want to act, and the people that you attract in your life, those are gonna be your friends. There. I'm sure we've all had this, right? When you're like in a party or you're in a group, you know, I would call them like not genuine friends, like fake friends. They act like they're your friends, but sometimes they're like stabbing you in the back, kind of thing. So, and I'm careful with that. I'm careful with that. I really appreciate it when I meet genuine people. That's why, that's what I enjoy now. It's like when I hang out with the friends that I have, and I don't have many. It's like I have a lot of I do YouTube, a lot of friends on YouTube, but the ones that I consider genuine friends, I keep it a tight group, a small group, because I have to be careful because not everybody can be trusted. Sometimes the people that you think they're your friends, but they're really not. So I'm careful, especially with YouTube. If you notice, I'm careful with what I say. I'm politically correct. I don't like, you don't hear me cussing on our channel. I'm careful what I say because I don't, people sometimes use your words against you. And that's why I'm careful. I'm careful when it comes to that. And like I said, material things, it doesn't bring me a lot of joy anymore. Not like it used to be. It used to be when I got my new Air Jordans. I'll be like, oh man, I got the new Air Jordans. Now it's not a big thing to me anymore. If I see a Air Jordans, that's just another pair of shoes for me. And to me, it'd be too expensive. For me, it's not worth buying. It's like my clothes now. A lot of my clothes, Dazzle gets it at Ukay Ukay. Ukay Ukay is the thrift store here. The used clothing that gets sent to the Philippines. They come from. Sometimes they come from what's that agency in the Goodwill, because it even has a sticker, Goodwill sticker from the United States. When Dazzle buys it and she gets me a shirt, and I'm like, oh, it's got the Goodwill tag on it, but doesn't bother me. That's the clothes I wear now. I'm not big anymore on designer clothes or name brands. Name brands, not big thing to me anymore. I wear pretty much board shorts. I have about 6 pairs of board shorts and whatever t-shirt, whatever cotton t-shirt, and then flip flops. That's what I wear here all the time. What's important to me now are like my good relationships, my genuine relationship with friends. That is what I value now. Is material things I don't value. anymore. What I value is like when I have a close bond with a person, like I meet a friend and then we become almost like brothers. I can trust them, they can trust me. To me, those are the relationships that has a lot of value. To me, those are my valuable relationships. And of course, my relationship with Dazzle and Dazzle's family. And then what I find, what I always tell people, as far as living your best life, once you come here, when I got here when I was 45, my main thing when I got here, when I lived in Boracay for 18 months. I was just trying to get in the best shape of my life. I was already in decent shape when I came here. I always rode my road bike, my mountain bike in Arizona. But man, when I came here in 2011, those 18 months in Boracay, I was like snorkeling, I was swimming, running on front beach. I had my mountain bike. My first 3 years in the Philippines, I just had a mountain bike. I didn't buy a motorbike. I didn't buy a car. I was just riding my mountain bike everywhere. I got into the best shape of my life, and it felt good. And then I just start doing the things that, when I was working. I remember when I was working in Arizona, I didn't have time. It's like I would run in the morning before work, but I was always rushing. I was always like, I would get my run in, maybe an hour run, and then I hurry up, shower, hurry up, dress, hurry up to go to work. Sometimes going through like, McDonald's or Starbucks to get coffee, fast food, and you're eating in your car. You're always like in a rush. And that's what I enjoyed when I was in Boracay, was I didn't have to do that anymore. It's like when I got up in the morning, I would watch the sunrise, like the sunrise now. I'm looking at it, it's like, and I could take my time. That was like, I was grateful for that. It wasn't that dynamic for the longest time when I was working. I have this light that Dazzle bought me. Now I can turn it off because it's light now. There you go. It's pretty cool. It's got like the light. So that was the thing. It's like I started just enjoying everything. It's like even working, just being able to work out, being able to run on the beach and not be on the clock. Not have to watch your watch anymore. Ooh, I gotta run. It's like I don't have enough time. I gotta get showered. I gotta get to work. It was like that. Those were, I started to realize, man, how much I was missing out. That's when I, start thinking, man, it was really a good decision to retire early because I get to do the things that I want. And then just different hobbies that different things that I never tried. I started cooking more. When I was before I retired, I had. Most of the time I'm just trying to eat fast food or go to the hospital cafeteria for lunch. But when I retired here, I'm able to cook more. Even simple things, going to the grocery or even going to the public market, just walking around in the public market, looking at like vegetables, picking your own vegetables. Everything was just fun. Everything was just enjoyable. Walk. I got a message from a friend of mine. So basically, what I'm trying to say is like once you settled in, once you find that, important for you to take care of yourself. That's one thing I learned. It's like I always, I take care of the family, of course, Dazzle, Deanna, and Mom. I take good care of them, but also don't forget to take care of yourself, your physical wellness and your mental health. Those are so important. It's like before you can be good to other people, you got to be good to yourself. All right, all right. I got to go back here because it went up. It went up. Thank goodness you and Dazzle are very genuine and honest people. That's why. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ria. Appreciate the kind words. Hello, Gino from Madrid. Wow, Madrid, Spain. My husband love. Oh, thank you so much. To me, I mean, that's just amazing. When I hear people like that, when I hear people say, "Hey, we love watching your channel," uh, I'm just so I feel blessed. I just feel grateful. I couldn't imagine like me, little old Gino here in the Philippines. It's like people are watching our channel. People are reaching out. Hey, thank you so much. Actually today there's a person, one of our subscribers. Are going to come in here to Calibo, wanted to meet us, invited us to dinner tonight. So we'll see them, we'll see them. To me, it's like, you know, I can't even believe it sometimes, because like people like bring gifts to us, my Don, when Don was here, Raquel, when they were in Boracay, I wasn't expecting that. They said, hey, Gino, we want to meet you. And I was like, all right, I'll meet you. I'll come out there. I took my friend from Atlanta. He's staying in Calibo now. So we drove. It was just me and him. I wasn't really expecting. I thought, hey, we're gonna meet them. We might eat lunch. We ended up eating like me and Mel at Mang Inasal. So I figured, we'll meet them at the mall. I didn't expect them to like bring me like a big care package, like a gigantic, heavy care package of like chocolates and candy, and I had a shirt. I was just like blown away, when people surprise me like that. Lowell, como Oregon, Oregon. All right, I've been to Oregon. That was part of the drive one time from Northern California. I lived in Southern California. We would go up to Northern California, visit some Filipino friends, and we took a trip to, up Oregon on the coastline, I remember. What was that? Brookings. That crossing over from the California border to Oregon. I think it was Brookings. I think Brookings on the coast. Beautiful area. That coast of Oregon is beautiful. God bless. God bless. God bless, Lowell. All right, Lowell. Man, I should have put it together. You're Lowell, man. Lowell and I chat all the time on my WhatsApp. What's up? I should have caught that, when I said Lowell and Oregon, it's like, it's early, man. Coffee hasn't kicked in yet. you know. Good hearing. Thank you, Lowell, for joining the live stream. God bless, my brother. Fortune, good AM. Gino fam and Panay Pasi. Hey, Panay Pasi, Panay Pasi. And prep to go on site today. Catch. All right, no worries, Fortune. I just started the live stream. Leanna's actually been awake. She's been awake for an hour now. She has to wear like that dress, the Filipiniana dress right there. So Leanna's trying to get pretty. She said she wanted to get up early, so she's pretty for the dress. She's gonna get pretty this morning. I understand not being impressed by having stuff anymore. The older we get, the more priorities change. We begin to value real relationship. Uh, Amen, sister. That's how I am now. It's like material things don't impress me anymore. It's like when I people like I know I was the same before when I got a new car or new bicycle, new gadget. You're like you're all impressed. You're like, oh man, I got the stuff. I got it. But now, it's not a big deal anymore. It's like, if anything, a lot of the electronic stuff, they break, right? To me, they break anyway. Nothing seems to last. So if you buy it, you'll just get disappointed when it breaks or it gives you trouble. So it just gives you a headache. That's why me, I just don't, I'm not into like the gadgets anymore. Like I said, I could easily buy it, but I'd rather not. I'd rather save the money. It'll be money someday used that's better purpose. It's like college money for Leanna, college money for the nephews, Dazzle. I want to leave a good amount of money to Dazzle when I'm gone because I'm older than her. So I have to prepare her for that. All right, 6. So we still got about an hour. How's it going, Leanna?
Good.
Good. Leanna says it's going good. Did mom make your lunch already? Yeah, I see it. I see it. Lunch is already prepared. Usually, before mom moved in with us, I was the one preparing Leanna's lunch. She packs a lunch, but now it's mom. Mom took over those duties. I'm doing less and less stuff here in the house. They don't make me between mom, Leanna, and Dazzle. They don't make me do a lot of things anymore in the house. Even like I usually wash our car and Bumblebee, our tricycle. Dazzle even does that now. They don't like me. They don't like it when I do stuff around the house. But it's hard for me because I'm just used to that. But I also have to realize that I have to like conserve my energy because a lot of times when I do things during the day by 5 p.m. I'm like on low bat. I call it low bat where I'm just like drained. I don't have any energy. So that's why I sleep early. That's why a lot of times I have to pace myself. Everything that I have to do, I have to pace myself now. And then the last thing I have on my notes here, you know, we all, you know, even during retirement, it's just part of life. You know, we all have to go through ups and downs. You know, like for me, you know, it's like I was cruising, right? You know, I got here in the Philippines. I was 45. I was like living the life. I was traveling, doing the things that I've always wanted to do. I had the freedom. You know, I no longer had a boss. I owned my time, just enjoying life. Life couldn't be better for me. I was like, you know, I was just so thankful that, you know, I got here. Then all of a sudden, you know, it's like this was uh, 2.5 years ago, I got diagnosed with cancer. You know, never been sick in my life, never spent a day in the hospital. I'm not on any medication. You know, all of a sudden, boom, I got the cancer diagnosis. So, you know, it's life is just like that. And I, you know, it's like I got a message from a friend of mine this morning. I just answered him. He recently moved here to the Philippines with his family. Big move, you know. He's coming from the United States, wife and kid, and his kid's a teenager. So man, yeah, that's a big move, you know, to bring a teenager from America to the Philippines. And he just meant, you know, he just chat, hey, you know, had some hiccups here, you know, hiccups, and he said, but everything's, you know, gonna work out, work itself out. And and I messaged him back, and I told him, that's just life, you know. I don't think we can get to a point anywhere in our life where, you know, that things can just change in an instant, you know. So you have to almost kind of be prepared for that, especially as we get older. It's just part of getting old, you know. It's like, unfortunately, you know, getting sick or as we get older, that's kind. It happens, you know. It's like a lot of my friends, you know. It's like you know, I'm 59. A lot of my friends, 60s and older, you know, there's just medical issues start popping, you know. So to me, it's like you just gotta enjoy the moment, you know. It's like be prepared, of course, you know. It's like you know, be in the back of your mind, always think about, you know, what happens if this happens, you know. That's why I always tell people, have that medical emergency fund here in the Philippines, you know. Have that insurance if you can afford, have that insurance. But you know, just always think that, you know, no matter how great life is going, you know, it's like life has a tendency of always throwing us a curve. You know, it's like you could be going that fastball straight, everything's cruising, but that curve, you know, all of a sudden it's like, boom, where did that come from? You know, it's like I said, like for me, man, you know, it's like I've never got hospitalized in my life. Never had surgery, whole body parts, never broke a bone, you know, I'm all complete, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, it's like I got diagnosed with cancer. So things can change in an instant. Life can change in an instant. So appreciate the life you have. You know, if you're healthy, you got a good family. If you're alive, if you're alive, just be thankful because things can change just like that. And I learned that. I learned that before. I wasn't thinking about a serious illness or anything like. I was just like I thought I had the life. I thought I was just cruising in my life. Lowell, I was thinking of buying a gas tuk-tuk instead of having a car and a bike. Thoughts? Um, I see them. I know what you mean. The tuk-tuk kind of like a motorcycle. It's front and I see them. I don't know the current cost of them. I know they're cheaper. They're cheaper than a car, and like a motorbike. Like me, I never rode a motorbike before, Lowell. So for me, uh, when I the when I bought Bumblebee, the motorbike on Bumblebee, the Yamaha Mio I in 2016, I just didn't feel comfortable. I've never ridden a motorbike. I've ridden bicycles, but it's different on the motorbike because of the speed. And then I just didn't never felt comfortable. That's why I had that sidecar built. I had made it into a tricycle. Um, and I do see a lot of expats, unfortunately, Lowell here. I see a lot of them get in motorcycle accidents, because it's so easy to get knocked off your motorcycle here, So a tuk-tuk's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. It's more stable, more stable. You can just stop, if you're riding a tuk-tuk, you can just stop if something's not right, if you're going to an intersection, something like that, you can just hit the brake and you're not gonna fall. A lot of times that's the thing with motorbikes I notice. It's like they have to make a sudden stop, they slide on the road, or they easily get hit. You can't just stop on the middle, on a motorbike. I see them, I see expats owning them, Lowell. I see expats owning the tuk-tuk here. Actually, I was thinking of getting that, before I got our car, but Daz wouldn't let me get it. She preferred the car, and I can see why, because with the car we can travel long distance and we can go island hopping in the car and really road trip. Hard to do a road trip on the tuk-tuk. The tuk-tuk basically is like in town, short distance, maybe no longer than an hour. After that, you would be pushing it. What kind of cancer, Belak? I had head and neck cancer, stage 3. I had to get like 12 chemo treatments, and I had to go through like 33 radiation treatments, like on my neck here. That's why I have all these scars on my neck. In everything, give thanks. Amen. Amen, furry and non-furry babies. Now I just feel that every day, when I wake up every day, like now, I'm looking at the sunset here. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys. I mean, I just feel blessed when I get to look at sunsets here. This is our sunrise here this morning. There's some clouds. It might rain. It did rain last night, but that's just the sunrise here in our community. Maybe some rain clouds there. All the birds, you see a lot of birds here. That's why I like our neighborhood. It's always just peaceful here. My neighbors, usually hear somebody sweeping. That's usually a routine for a lot of my neighbors here. They sweep their area. But always quiet here in our neighborhood. I just hear the birds. Lots of birds this morning, I noticed. I can just watch the sunrise here. And then in the afternoon, sunset on the other side. The guy that was painting the house, I think he started painting right there. The whole house right there. There's one guy painting that whole house. He finished the outside, so he's now painting the inside. Not here yet. He'll probably get here around 7:30 or 8. But just always quiet in our neighborhood. You don't hear any roosters here. All I hear is the birds chirping. That's why I enjoy living here, because I can do my morning walks. It's always so peaceful. The neighbors are friendly. The street right here, most of my neighbors, we were the first house built here on our street. So a lot of these neighbors, when they moved in and when they were building their house, I got to meet them in person when they were like, because they would ask me, because I was the first one living on our street here, they would ask me, how is it the neighborhood? You know, how do you like living at Camellia? So every single one of my neighbors here, I know them. Oh, there's Leanna. She's getting dressed. There's her Leanna and her Filipiniana. Oh, look at you, girl. There's Leanna. I like your dress, Leanna. Looks really nice. Looks really nice. What time do we go to school today? 7, same time? Or do you need to be early at school today?
I think I want to be early.
You want to be early. All right, let me know what time you want to leave.
6:40.
6:40. All right, you heard that, guys. Leanna wants to leave 6:40 today instead of 7. Leanna is the boss. Lowell. Cost for tuk-tuk is 216 pesos. So about $3,000, $3,500. Not bad. That's a good price, and that's a good price, Lowell. I used to ride Harleys for years. Yeah, at least with the with the tuk-tuk, it's more stable. But and I know they can go pretty. I would say maybe 2 hours would be a comfortable ride. So it can get you around. It can get you around. Depending on where you would go, though, Lowell, consider that, because if you go to like a place like a city, I know you were thinking Cebu City. Traffic in Cebu City. I'm sure they'll let you. But you still have to check. That if there's certain areas where they might not allow the tuk-tuk. Like I know certain cities here in the Philippines, even tricycle, like my tricycle. Here in Panay Island, my tricycle can go anywhere. I can go to Iloilo City, Roa City, no worries. But I know certain cities here have restrictions for like tricycles and sometimes tuk-tuk. Before you buy it, of course, check with, what was your symptoms, Belak? I did not have any symptoms. As a matter of fact, I'm a runner before I got diagnosed with cancer. I was running like 5 kilometers, 3 miles every other day. I've always been a runner all my life. I was 56. I think I was 56 years old when I got diagnosed. The only symptom I had is like right here, they had to do a biopsy. They had to cut me here and get a biopsy. I had a tumor that grew on my neck. I'm not a smoker, never smoked in my life. Been healthy, like I said. I just developed a tumor, and they did a biopsy on the tumor, and it was metastatic cancer. So basically, they said my lymph nodes. That's why I was stage 3, because it had moved to my lymph nodes. Luckily, they caught, it happened that it was just on my lymph nodes, because the next thing they were thinking, it would have spread to my lungs. Somewhere in my head, that's why it's head and neck cancer. So they had to hit radiation. Pretty much my area here from my nose here, I got hit with radiation. So because they couldn't really identify where specific the cancer originated. But they knew that lymph nodes are affected, so they had to do radiation on my lymph nodes. Horrible, horrible treatments. I would not wish a radiation treatment or chemo treatments anyway. It was just like I went from like I had to gain weight a month before I started my treatments. My doctor said gain weight because I was going to lose weight, and I sure did. I lost about 50 pounds. I lost about 50 pounds during my treatments. When I started, I was 168. I was 168 pounds when I started. I'm 5'10", pretty tall for Filipino. I'm told, it's like, but I was 168 pounds when I started my treatments, and I was 119. I couldn't recognize myself. I was basically like skin and bones by the time I was done. 4 months of treatments. They had to do aggressive treatment because it was stage 3, and they wanted to make sure that they get everything. So far, so good. I've had like 5 or 6 MRIs. All the MRIs are coming in clean. My next monitoring MRI is in October, so cross my fingers. That keep staying healthy. Keep staying healthy. Good AM, Gino. Enjoy your day. All right, Joe. All right, thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Oh, so pretty, Liana. All right, Liana, you got a fan. Your Tita Ria. Liana said, thank you. There she is. She's ready. She's the Filipiniana, her Filipina dress. Yes. Here they call it buwan, and I know Linggo is like the week lang, but here I think it's the whole month. Buwan ng wika. So they have activities. Like yesterday, she had to go. She had a dance that she practiced for a few weeks, and she had to perform a dance yesterday afternoon. But today, she said it's a parade. They have a parade in school. I would film the parade, but I know with the new YouTube thing, it's like I stopped filming at Leanna School because I don't want to, I want to stay safe, with our channel, so I don't want to like cause any problems. June Pogi said hi. All right. Good luck to you, brother. Oh, thank you, Balak. I'm doing good, brother. It's like getting back to normal as much as normal means, after you go through that. I really, when you go through like aggressive cancer treatments like I did, the side effects are just endless. It's like your immune system shot. I have allergies now that I've never had allergies. I'm allergic to shellfish now, anything. Fish is probably the only seafood I can eat. The rest I can't eat anymore. Dry mouth. I still got dry mouth from the radiation. My voice not the same because I got hit with all that radiation on my throat, so but still blessed, I still feel blessed that I'm alive. That's the main thing. I feel blessed that I'm alive because that's the whole point. It's like going through all those treatments just to survive. It's basic survival at that point. It's like I have friends that went through that helped me. That helped. I had friends that had gone through cancer. I have nurse friends in the United States. Doctor even that when I was going through my treatments, I worked in the medical field for 27 years, so that helped. I think that helped. It's like, and then my military background. It's like with the military. You tackle whatever adversity. So I think that helped. That all played into it. That all. I think if anything, one of the biggest thing for me, and looking back. I remain positive. I even filmed it. It's like when I was going through the treatments, when we were in Iloilo City, when Dazzle and I lived in Iloilo City for 4 months, I would film it. I would make videos still, and that helped me actually because it gave me something to do. I force myself to walk at the Esplanade. I remember, even if I can only walk 5 or 10 minutes at the Esplanade, I was still walking. The thing that helped me out of all those treatments was just staying positive. And if there's a message I would tell people that's going through cancer treatments or anything, just stay positive. What another thing that helped me, I stopped reading. You know, it's like when I got diagnosed, I remember I would read everything online because you're trying to learn as much as you can about the cancer. What type of cancer? Like the gentleman asking me, what are your symptoms? What type? You start reading, right? You start reading, and if anything, that would, to me anyway, for me, it stressed me more. It stressed me more because like, and people, I know at the time people meant well, but like people are like, oh, what did you do? It must have been something you've been eating, or it's your diet, it's your you got to give up eating this. It's like, they make you sometimes feel like it's your fault that nobody wants to get cancer, right? It's like, and they don't really know what causes cancer. It could be a multitude of things, right? You can go online now and Google like what causes cancer, and you can have 100 things listed that can cause anything. Pretty much can cause cancer. So to me, I know some people meant well, but I just start what helped me finally. I stopped reading. I start looking online. I focused on the friends that I knew, like had the medical background. I had nurse friends and I had a doctor friend, Dr. Gray. He was my go-to guy. He's my friend. He's my brother now, still. There's people that I knew that knew enough about the disease, had background that understand the disease, and then, I relied on them. Because if you listen to everybody, I got bombarded with messages and all that. It will just confuse you, scare you, if anything. I would get message, oh, you only have a 60% chance to live for 5 years. I would get messages like that, and I was like, unfortunately, some people don't know how to like maybe politically correct or say nice things. So I just started to like. What I did is I focused on my treatments, and that helped me. I had maybe 3 people that I would listen, that people that I know that had medical background, and then I just focused on treatment. Treated each treatment as a task. Like in the military, that's how I was trained. In the military, it's all about you have a task, you accomplish the mission, and you're done. So to me, what I focused on was like each treatment. Like I have radiation, I have a chemo treatment on Monday. I'm just focused on that. What do I have to do? Because chemo's not easy. It's like, yeah, all you do is sit there. You sit there and just sit on a comfortable chair. Thank goodness it was comfortable. It was like a reclining chair. But you get needle pokes. You get IVs put on you. And the longer you go through chemo treatments, your veins are getting harder to see. So I would say by the 6th or 7th chemo, it would take them, on my hand here, it would take them 5-6 needle sticks before they can hit a vein. And these were experienced nurses. These were finally even a doctor. They had special people that they were good at finding your veins. But when you're going to chemo treatments, all your veins get damaged, unfortunately. So it gets harder and harder for them to find your veins. Last night, actually, Mom Janet was mentioning she's going to treatments right now, and she has to experience like long needles for her treatments. And I just could relate to her because I dreaded those Mondays, man. I dreaded those chemo treatments on Mondays because I knew they were gonna like, it would be one thing if they poke you and get your vein. And with the IV, I don't know if you know or experience, maybe you haven't forgot. When they get you on the needle on the IV, they just don't poke you and it's good. they're like poke you and like try digging in, trying to get that needle inside the vein. And it was just, man, it got to a point where it was just like, I dreaded it. I dreaded the needles, and it's like I couldn't get used to it. That was some of the worst pain. The radiation in the beginning was tough because I had to wear like this mask, and they had to bolt me into like the board. You're laying down on this kind of like a stretcher board, but they bolt you. They have built this mask around your face. You have open on the nose so you can breathe, but they pin you down on the board because when they do the radiation, you can't move, and you can't move. My face was like stuck, and they do laser. They use lasers to guide the radiation, and you're there for 45 to an hour. If you're claustrophobic, I know it's going to be a challenge, but I went through it. It's like I survived. Thank grace of God, I survived. I'm always grateful, like I said. Hey, TechSped. All right, Brian. Y'all, we'll have a good day for sure. Leanna told me we're leaving at 6:40, so I got about 13 minutes here. I'm at the bottom of the comments, so at least I don't have any comments to answer. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone this morning. Thank you for joining the live stream. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream here so Leanna and I can get ready. Oh, Leanna's using the fan. I hear a fan going on. Leanna's got like a little fan.
This.
Right there. It's like Leanna's little fan. She takes this to school. It's kind of cute. It's like, makes a little sound there, a little fan. Because in Leanna's school, they don't have air conditioning. And, oh man, it's like 100%. The public schools here, the classrooms, there's like 35, 36 kids in a classroom. They're all open air. It's cement, and then they have their windows are open because they want cool air at least to come through there. They do have some ceiling fans. I actually bought one of the ceiling fans for them this year. They have a water cooler. Our good friend Ray from Sacramento, he donated that water cooler. Cold water, they have a cold water dispenser. The parents just have to donate money to get the actual water delivered. But no AC. And their roof on their classrooms here are that corrugated metal. The corrugated metal. When it's sunny, like now it's getting sunny, man, it gets warm in that room, right, Leanna? Mm-hmm. It's hot in your classroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets, when I pick up Leanna from school in the afternoon, she's always sweaty. Maybe because she plays outside too, right? You play in the playground too? No, Nina? She said no, she doesn't play on the playground. But it gets hot. It gets hot in their classroom. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream here. Again, thank you everyone for joining the live stream. Have a good evening, a good day. Stay blessed, everyone.
Bye.